Captain Jai-Ho Park felt his heart beat faster as he looked at his radar screen. Something big was out there. Something that shouldn't be there. "Command, are you seeing this?" Jai-Ho asked. He adjusted his helmet inside the tight cockpit of his F-92 Thunderbolt fighter jet. The strange object on his radar was huge. "We see it, Captain Park. Stay where you are and just watch." "Do not get closer," said the voice from Earth Command. Jai-Ho had been a fighter pilot for 15 years. He was the best pilot Earth had. He had won many medals. He had flown in 3 wars. But he had never seen anything like this. The object was a ship, but it wasn't from Earth. Its shape was wrong. It was too big, and it glowed with a strange blue light that no human ship had ever made. It wasn't moving much. In fact, it seemed to be drifting. Jai-Ho could see small explosions on its surface. Something was very wrong with the ship. "Command, I think they're in trouble," Jai-Ho said. He pushed his jet a little closer, still keeping a safe distance. "Captain Park, do not move closer. We don't know what that thing is. Wait for orders," Command said. Jai-Ho looked at the strange ship again. More explosions, and now he was picking up a signal. It wasn't on any normal radio band. It was something new. But it had the pattern of a distress call. Jai-Ho had heard enough distress calls in his life to know one when he heard it, even if it wasn't human. He made a quick decision. Sometimes a pilot had to trust his gut. "Command, I'm going to check it out. They need help." "Negative, Captain. Wait for." Jai-Ho turned off his radio. He would deal with the trouble later. Right now, someone or something needed help. That was more important than orders. He flew his fighter jet closer to the alien ship. It was even bigger up close. It could hold 100 fighter jets like his. Its blue surface was made of something he had never seen before. It looked like metal, but it shined like water. As he got closer, a beam of light suddenly shot out from the ship. Jai-Ho tensed, ready to turn and run. But the light didn't hurt his ship. It just wrapped around it, like it was scanning him. Then, to his great surprise, a voice spoke in his cockpit. The voice spoke perfect Korean, which was Jai-Ho's language. "Human pilot, this is Admiral Hannah of the Serani Federation vessel *Starblade*. We are in great danger. Our ship is badly damaged after an attack by the Vraxian horde. If you understand this message, please respond." Jai-Ho was shocked. The voice was clear and calm, but it had a strange musical quality that no human voice had. He took a deep breath. "This is Captain Jai-Ho Park of Earth. I understand you. How can I help?" There was a pause. Jai-Ho wondered if they could understand him too. "Captain Park of Earth," the voice said again. "Our ship is dying. We have many injured. Our engines are failing. We need emergency assistance." Jai-Ho looked back at Earth, a blue ball in the distance. He should call command. He should wait for orders. But the explosions on the alien ship were getting worse. "I'm just one fighter pilot," Jai-Ho said. "What can I do to help?" "Can you come aboard?" Admiral Hannah asked. "We must speak directly. Time is short. Every training manual said not to do this. Every science fiction movie warned against it. But Jai-Ho had always trusted his instincts. "I'll come aboard. Tell me where to land." A section of the huge ship opened up like a mouth. Lights inside showed him where to go. Jai-Ho guided his fighter jet carefully into the opening. He was breaking every rule in the book. He might be court-martialed when he got back to Earth. If he got back to Earth. Inside the alien ship was a large open area, like a hangar for their own ships. Jai-Ho saw strange crafts parked along the walls. They were sleek and beautiful, but many were damaged. He landed his F-92 in the center where the lights guided him. As the engines of his jet shut down, Jai-Ho saw movement. Figures were approaching his ship. They'd walked on 2 legs like humans, but they weren't human. Jai-Ho opened his cockpit and climbed out. The air was breathable, which surprised him. He kept his helmet on just in case, but left the visor open. 5 aliens stood before him. They were tall and thin. Their skin was blue, like the sky on a clear day. Their eyes were large and silver, reflecting light like mirrors. They wore fitted uniforms with symbols Jai-Ho didn't recognize. One stepped forward. She, Jai-Ho somehow knew it was a she, was slightly taller than the others. Her uniform had more markings. "Captain Park," she said. Her mouth moved strangely with the words, like she wasn't used to speaking this way. "I am Admiral Hannah. Thank you for coming." Jai-Ho nodded, still in shock. "How are you speaking my language?" "We have translation technology," another alien said. This one was male. "I am Science Officer Ta. Our ship scanned yours and found language samples in your computer. We can communicate this way for now." Jai-Ho looked around. The hangar was huge, but he could see damage. The walls had burn marks. Some of the lights were flickering. And in the distance, he heard alarms. "Your ship is in trouble," Jai-Ho said. Admiral Hannah nodded. "Yes. We were attacked without warning by the Vraxian horde, a violent race that sees other life forms as threats to be eliminated. We'd managed to escape, but our main drive core was damaged. It is becoming unstable." "Can you fix it?" Jai-Ho asked. "Our engineering team was killed in the attack," Ta said. "The few engineers we have left are trying, but—" An explosion rocked the ship. Jai-Ho almost fell over. The aliens stayed steady, like they were used to it. "That was another system failure," Hannah said. "We don't have much time. If our drive core breaches completely, the explosion will not only destroy us, but will create a rift in space that will damage your planet's atmosphere. Millions could die." Jai-Ho felt cold fear run through him. This wasn't just about helping some stranded aliens anymore. Earth was in danger too. "What can I do?" he asked. "I'm not an engineer. I'm just a pilot." Hannah and Ta looked at each other. Then Hannah spoke. "That is exactly why we need you, Captain Park. You see, we have a plan to save the ship. We need parts from our repair station." "Repair station?" Jai-Ho was confused. "We have a small station hidden in orbit around your moon," Tai explained. "Your people don't know about it. We've been observing Earth for many years." Jai-Ho tried to process this new information. Aliens had been watching Earth from the moon. There would be time to be shocked about that later. "So you need to go to this station to get parts," Jai-Ho said. "Why do you need me?" "Our shuttle is still working," Hannah said. "But our autopilot systems are damaged, and all our pilots were badly injured in the attack." "You want me to fly your shuttle?" Jai-Ho asked, surprised. "Yes," Hannah said, "through a dangerous debris field left by the battle. Can you do it?" Jai-Ho looked at his fighter jet, then at the alien shuttle he could see across the hangar. It was nothing like anything he had ever flown. How could he possibly fly it? "Your craft is different from mine," he said. "I don't know if I can." "We can help you," Ta said. "Our shuttle can connect with your mind. You will understand how to fly it." "Connect with my mind," Jai-Ho repeated. That sounded both amazing and terrifying. Another explosion shook the ship, bigger this time. Lights went out all around them. Then emergency lights came on, bathing everything in red. "We have less than 3 hours before the core breaches," Hannah said. "Will you help us, Captain Park? Will you help save both our peoples?" Jai-Ho looked at the aliens, then back at his fighter jet. He thought of Earth, unaware of the danger hanging above it. He thought of his duty as a soldier, to protect. "Show me this shuttle," he said. "Let's see if I can fly it." Hannah's silver eyes seemed to brighten. "Thank you, Captain. This way." As Jai-Ho followed the aliens deeper into the ship, he knew his life would never be the same again. First contact with alien life, and it had fallen to him. One fighter pilot, to help them, to save them, to save Earth. He just hoped he was good enough for the job. The alien shuttle looked nothing like the fighter jets Jai-Ho had flown on Earth. It was smooth and round, with no visible wings. Its surface had the same blue shine as the big ship. There was no cockpit that he could see. "This is our diplomatic shuttle," Hannah said. "It's not built for fighting, but it's fast." Jai-Ho walked around it. "How do I get in? Where are the controls?" Tay touched the side of the shuttle. A door appeared and opened smoothly. "The controls are different from what you know." Jai-Ho looked inside. There were seats, but no steering wheel, no buttons, no screens that he could see. "How am I supposed to fly this?" he asked. "With your mind," Hannah said. Jai-Ho turned to look at her. "My mind?" Hannah nodded. "Our ships connect directly to the pilot's brain. You think, and the ship responds." Jai-Ho felt a wave of doubt. This was getting more and more impossible. "I don't think my brain will connect with your alien technology." "You'd be surprised," Ta said. "Human brains are more adaptable than you think. We've studied your species for a long time." Another explosion rocked the ship. This one was stronger than before. Ji-Ho had to grab the shuttle door to stay standing. "We don't have much time," Hannah said. "The core will breach in less than 3 hours. Will you try?" Jai-Ho looked at the shuttle again. He thought of Earth, hanging in space, not knowing the danger it was in. He took a deep breath. "Okay, I'll try. What do I do?" "Sit in the pilot's seat," Ta said. "I'll help you connect." Jai-Ho climbed into the shuttle and sat in the front seat. It adjusted to his body automatically, which felt strange. Tai sat next to him and held up a thin silver band. "This goes around your head," Ta said. "It helps your brain connect with the shuttle." Jai-Ho hesitated, then nodded. Ta placed the band on Jai-Ho's head. It felt cool against his skin. "Now close your eyes," Ta said. "Try to clear your mind." Jai-Ho closed his eyes. He tried to push away all his fear and doubt. He tried not to think about the dying ship around him, or the aliens watching him, or Earth in danger. At first, nothing happened. Then he felt a strange tingling in his head. It spread down his neck and into his body. It wasn't painful, but it felt very odd. And then, suddenly, he could feel the shuttle. Jai-Ho gasped. It was like the shuttle had become part of his body. He could feel its engines, ready to start. He could feel its outer skin, the temperature of space outside. He could sense the damage to the big ship around them. "I can feel it," he whispered. "I can feel the shuttle." "Good," Ta said. "Try to make it hover." Jai-Ho thought about lifting, about floating. The shuttle responded immediately. It rose smoothly off the floor of the hangar. "Amazing," Jai-Ho said. The shuttle lowered again as his concentration broke. "You're doing well," Hannah said. She had entered the shuttle with 3 other aliens. "But we must go now." "Where exactly are we going?" Jai-Ho asked as the others took seats. "To our repair station orbiting your moon," Hannah said. "It's hidden on the far side where your Earth telescopes can't see it." "And what's at this station?" Jai-Ho asked. "Parts to fix our drive core," said a quiet alien that Jai-Ho hadn't met before. "I am Min, one of the few engineers still alive. I will know what we need." Jai-Ho nodded. "Okay. And how do we get there?" "Through the debris field left by our battle with the Fraxians," Ta said. "It won't be easy. There's wreckage, radiation, and possibly Fraxian scouts still looking for us." Jai-Ho felt his mouth go dry. Flying through a debris field in space. In an alien shuttle he barely knew how to control. This was beyond crazy. "I'll do my best," he said. "That's all we ask," Hannah replied. "Are you ready?" Jai-Ho closed his eyes again and connected with the shuttle. This time it was easier. "Ready." The hangar doors opened, showing the blackness of space. Ji-Ho thought about moving forward, and the shuttle glided out of the Starblade asterisk. Once they were clear of the big ship, Jai-Ho could see the true extent of the damage. The Starblade asterisk had huge holes torn in its side. One section was completely gone. Parts of it were on fire, which Jai-Ho didn't think was possible in space. The Vraxians did all that? He asked. Yes, Hannah said, her voice sad. They attacked without warning. We are a peaceful race. Our ship is mostly for science and diplomacy. We were not prepared for battle. Jai-Ho looked ahead and saw the debris field. It was huge, a swirling mass of broken ships, rocks, and strange energy fields that glowed in the darkness. That's what we have to go through. Yes, Ta said. The repair station is on the other side. Jai-Ho took a deep breath and focused. He could feel every part of the shuttle now. It responded to his thoughts instantly. It was the most amazing thing he had ever experienced. Here we go, he said, and guided the shuttle toward the debris field. At first, it wasn't too bad. The pieces of wreckage were far apart. Jai-Ho could easily steer around them. The shuttle was incredibly responsive, better than any jet he had ever flown. He started to enjoy it. You're doing well, Ta said. This is amazing, Jai-Ho said. The way it responds to my thoughts. It's like the shuttle is part of me. That's exactly right, Hannah said. Our technology links pilot and ship as one. As they went deeper into the debris field, it got harder. The wreckage was closer together. Some pieces were moving fast, spinning or tumbling through space. Jai-Ho had to concentrate harder to avoid them. How long until we reach the repair station? He asked. At this speed, about 45 minutes, Min said. The core will breach in 2 hours and 20 minutes. Suddenly, an alarm sounded. Jai-Ho felt it in his mind before he heard it. A sense of danger. What's that? He asked. Sensors detect 3 Vraxian scout ships, said the 4th alien, who had been quiet until now. I am Sun, weapons specialist. But this shuttle has no weapons. Jai-Ho felt a spike of fear. They're coming after us. Yes, Hannah said. They probably detected our launch from the Starblade Asterisk. What do they want? Jai-Ho asked, steering the shuttle around a large piece of metal. To make sure no one survives, Ta said grimly. The Vraxians don't leave witnesses. Jai-Ho looked at the sensor display in his mind. 3 red dots were approaching fast from behind. How do I make this thing go faster? He asked. Just think it, Sun said. But be careful. Too much speed in this debris field could be dangerous. Jai-Ho thought about speed, about urgency. The shuttle responded, its engines pushing harder. They shot forward, deeper into the debris field. They're still following, Sun reported. Jai-Ho looked ahead. The debris was getting thicker. Huge chunks of ships, some as big as his fighter jet, floated in their path. Energy fields pulsed between the wreckage, their colors shifting from blue to red to green. What are those energy fields? He asked. Radiation from damaged drive cores, Min explained. Very dangerous. Avoid them. Jai-Ho nodded, swerving to miss a radiation field. The shuttle tipped and turned, responding to his thoughts. The Vraxian ships were still gaining. We can't outrun them, Jai-Ho said. But maybe we can outmaneuver them. He looked at the densest part of the debris field, a tangled mess of wreckage that even the skilled alien pilots might struggle to navigate. Hold on, he said. This might get rough. Jai-Ho sent the shuttle straight toward the dense wreckage. The aliens grabbed their seats as the shuttle dived and twisted through the deadly obstacle course. A large piece of metal scraped against the shuttle's side. Jai-Ho felt the pain as if it were his own skin being torn. He gasped. Sorry, he said through gritted teeth, still getting used to this connection. You're doing incredibly well, Hannah said. Most first-time pilots can't handle the neural feedback. Jai-Ho didn't answer. He was too focused on flying. The debris was everywhere now. He twisted left, then right, then up over a spinning chunk of ship, then down under a pulsing radiation field. The shuttle moved like it was part of him, like a new limb he was just learning to use. It was terrifying and thrilling at the same time. The Vraxians, he asked. One has crashed, Sun reported. One has turned back. One is still following, but falling behind. Jai-Ho allowed himself a small smile. Good. How much farther to the repair station? 27 minutes, Min said. But there's a problem ahead. Jai-Ho looked through the shuttle sensors. A massive radiation cloud blocked their path. It was too big to go around, not with the Vraxian ship still on their tail. We have to go through it, Jai-Ho said. The radiation will disable our sensors, Ta warned. For at least 15 seconds, you'll be flying blind. Jai-Ho thought about this. 15 seconds of blind flying through a debris field with no instruments, with 5 lives depending on him, with Earth itself at risk if they failed. Then I'll fly blind, he said simply. Get ready. The radiation cloud loomed ahead, glowing an eerie purple. Jai-Ho took a deep breath, then plunged the shuttle straight into it. The moment the shuttle entered the radiation cloud, everything went dark in Jai-Ho's mind. The connection was still there, but all the sensors were dead. He couldn't see through the shuttle anymore. He was truly flying blind. I can't see anything, Jai-Ho said, trying to keep his voice calm. None of us can, Hannah replied. Trust your instincts, Captain Park. Jai-Ho took a deep breath. He could still feel the shuttle responding to his commands. He pictured the debris field in his mind, trying to remember where everything was. He had to guide them through on memory and instinct alone. How long has it been? He asked after what felt like forever. 5 seconds, Ta said. Only 5 seconds. It felt like minutes. Jai-Ho felt sweat on his forehead. 10 more seconds to go. He sensed something ahead and banked the shuttle hard to the right. What was that? Sun asked. I don't know, Jai-Ho said. Just a feeling. Seconds ticked by. Jai-Ho made small adjustments, following his gut. 8 seconds. 9. 10. A loud bang shook the shuttle. Everyone jerked forward. We hit something, Min said. Is the shuttle damaged? Jai-Ho asked, still unable to sense anything through the neural link, except basic movement. Minor damage only, Min replied. We're okay. 12 seconds. 13. Jai-Ho felt like his nerves were on fire. He made another turn, then dipped the shuttle down sharply. 14. Tay counted. 15. Suddenly, the sensors came back online. Jai-Ho could see again through the shuttle. They had made it through the radiation cloud, and they had just missed a huge piece of wreckage by meters. We made it, Jai-Ho said, relief flooding through him. And the Vraxian ship? He asked. Sun checked the sensors. It's gone. Either destroyed in the radiation cloud or it turned back. Jai-Ho allowed himself to relax slightly. How much farther to the repair station? 12 minutes, Min said. The core will breach in 1 hour and 43 minutes. Jai-Ho nodded. They still had time, if nothing else went wrong. Of course, something went wrong. An alarm sounded in Jai-Ho's mind. He felt the shuttle systems detecting a new threat. What now? He asked. A Vraxian battle cruiser, Sun said, her voice tight with fear. Much bigger than the scout ships. It must have been hiding behind the moon. Jai-Ho checked the sensors. The Vraxian ship was huge, at least 10 times the size of the shuttle, and it was moving to block their path to the repair station. Can we go around it? Jai-Ho asked. Not in time, Ta said. And it has weapons that can target us from a long distance. Jai-Ho thought quickly. What if we go back into the debris field? Take a longer route to the station. Hannah shook her head. There isn't time. The core will breach before we could reach the station. Jai-Ho felt the weight of everyone's lives on his shoulders. He had to find a way. Tell me about these Vraxians, he said. How do they think? How do they fight? They are very ordered, Sun explained. They follow patterns and rules. They don't adapt well to the unexpected. Jai-Ho smiled slightly. Good, because I'm about to do something very unexpected. He turned the shuttle directly toward the Vraxian battle cruiser. What are you doing? Tai asked, alarmed. They expect us to run, Jai-Ho said. So we're going to attack instead. This is a diplomatic shuttle, Hannah reminded him. We have no weapons. We don't need weapons, Jaho said. We just need them to think we do. He pushed the shuttle to its top speed, heading straight for the Vraxian ship. In his mind, he could sense the shuttle's power. It was fast, much faster than it looked. They're charging weapons, Sun reported. Wait for it, Jaho said. He kept the shuttle on a direct course for the Vraxian ship. When I say now, Min, I need you to create the biggest power surge you can in our engines. Can you do that? Min looked surprised but nodded. Yes. It might damage the shuttle, though. Better a damaged shuttle than a dead Earth, Jaho said. The Vraxian ship grew larger in their view. It was dark and angular, covered in weapon ports. Very different from the smooth blue Serani ships. They're about to fire, Sun warned. Now, Min, Jiho shouted. Min touched a panel on the wall. The shuttle's engines flared with sudden power. Jiho felt the surge through his neural link. It was almost painful. At the same moment, Jiho pulled the shuttle into a tight spin while releasing some of the shuttle's fuel. The result was spectacular. The fuel ignited in the engine surge, creating a massive flash of light and energy that looked just like a weapon firing. The Vraxian ship, faced with what appeared to be a small shuttle launching a massive attack, did exactly what Jiho hoped it would do. It took evasive action, veering sharply to the side. Jiho used that moment to fly the shuttle past the battle cruiser, moving so close that they skimmed its surface. The Vraxians, not expecting such a bold move, were slow to respond. By the time they turned to pursue, the shuttle was already racing toward the far side of the moon. That was incredible, Ta said, staring at Jiho. And dangerous, Hana added, but she was smiling. Will they follow us? Jiho asked. Yes, but we have a head start now, Sun said. And the repair station has defensive shields. 5 minutes later, Jiho saw the repair station for the first time. It looked like a silver ring orbiting the dark side of Earth's moon. It was much smaller than the Starblade Asterisk, but still impressive. There it is, Hannah said. Our emergency repair station. Jiho guided the shuttle toward a docking bay on the station. As they approached, the bay doors opened to welcome them. The Vraxian ship, he asked. Still coming, but we'll reach the station before they can catch us, Sun assured him. Jiho landed the shuttle inside the repair station with a gentle touch. As soon as they were safely docked, he closed his eyes and let go of the neural link. It felt strange to be just himself again, without the shuttle as part of him. We made it, he said, opening his eyes. Thanks to you, Hannah said. No Serani pilot could have done better. They left the shuttle quickly. The repair station was humming with activity. Other Serani were there, rushing to help as soon as they saw Admiral Hana. We have 15 minutes before the core breach becomes irreversible, Min said, checking the device on his wrist. We need to gather the parts and return to the Starblade Asterisk immediately. Jiho looked around the station. It was clean and organized, with technology he could barely understand. He suddenly felt out of place, the only human in what was clearly an advanced alien outpost. How long has this station been here? He asked as they hurried through the corridors. 47 of your Earth years, Ta said. We've been studying your planet for a long time, and you never made contact until now. We were waiting for the right time, Hana explained. Your species is still young, still divided. We wanted to wait until you were more united. Well, nothing brings people together like a crisis, Jiho said with a small smile. They reached a large room filled with parts and equipment. Min and several other Serani engineers began gathering what they needed. We'll need an escort back through the debris field, Hana told Jiho. The Vraxians will still be searching for us. Jiho looked at the damaged shuttle they had arrived in. That shuttle took some hits. Will it make it back? No, Hana agreed, which is why you'll need to fly this. A door opened to reveal another ship. This one was smaller than the shuttle, but sleeker. It looked built for speed and combat. A Serani interceptor, Tai explained. The fastest ship in our fleet. Jai-Ho approached it with awe. It was beautiful. Even without the neural link, he could tell it was special. You trust me with this? He asked. After knowing me for less than 3 hours. You risked everything to help us, Hannah said simply. And your piloting skills are exceptional, even by Serani standards. Jai-Ho looked at the interceptor again. Will it link with my mind like the shuttle did? Even better, Ta said. The neural link on the interceptor is more advanced. You'll feel like you are the ship. One of the engineers approached Hannah. Admiral, the containment team is ready. We have all the parts to stop the core breach. But we must leave now. Hannah turned to Jai-Ho. The containment team will take another shuttle. We need you to fly ahead in the interceptor, to clear a path and draw away any Vraxian ships. Jai-Ho understood. He would be the decoy, the protector. It was dangerous, but it was what he was trained to do. Let's do it, he said. As he approached the interceptor, Jai-Ho felt a mix of fear and excitement. He was about to fly the most advanced spacecraft he had ever seen. He was about to face alien enemies to protect both his planet and his new alien allies. And somehow, it felt right. Like everything in his life had prepared him for this moment. Captain Park, Hannah called as he reached the interceptor's door. There's something you should know. Jai-Ho turned. What's that? The interceptor has weapons, she said. If you need to use them, you'll know how. The ship will show you. Jai-Ho nodded. The door to the interceptor opened, inviting him in. He took one last look at the Serani team preparing the other shuttle, then stepped inside. It was time to finish what he had started. Time to save the Starblade. Time to save Earth. The Serani interceptor was unlike anything Jai-Ho had ever experienced. When he put on the neural band and connected with the ship, it felt like he had grown wings. The shuttle connection had been amazing, but this was something else entirely. The interceptor didn't just respond to his thoughts. It felt like it was part of him. This is incredible, Jai-Ho whispered as the interceptor hummed to life around him. Through his link with the ship, Jai-Ho could see the repair station, the moon, and the Earth beyond. He could feel the interceptor's weapons systems, its shields, its powerful engines. Everything was at his command. Captain Park, can you hear me? Hannah's voice came through the communication system. Yes, Admiral. I'm ready. The containment team is launching now. They have the parts to save the Starblade. You need to clear the path and keep the Vraxians away from them. Jai-Ho watched as a larger shuttle launched from the station. It carried the engineers and the parts needed to stop the core breach. I understand, Jai-Ho said. How much time do we have? 53 minutes before the core breach is irreversible, Tai's voice replied. If we don't reach the Starblade by then, both our ships and your Earth will be in grave danger. Jai-Ho checked the sensors. The Vraxian battle cruiser was moving around the moon, searching for them. 3 smaller Vraxian ships had joined it. I see the Vraxians, Jai-Ho reported. 4 ships total. The containment shuttle cannot outrun or fight them, Hannah said. That's why we need you, Captain Park. Jai-Ho took a deep breath. I'll keep them busy. Follow my path when it's clear. He launched the interceptor from the repair station. The ship responded perfectly, shooting out into space with incredible speed. Jai-Ho felt a rush of joy. Flying this ship was pure freedom. The interceptor sensors detected the Vraxian ships immediately. Jai-Ho turned toward them, planning to draw their attention away from the repair station and the containment shuttle. Here goes nothing, he said to himself. Jai-Ho pushed the interceptor to full speed, racing straight toward the group of Vraxian ships. Through the neural link, he fired a warning shot that passed just over the lid ship. The effect was immediate. All 4 Vraxian ships turned toward him. I've got their attention, Jai-Ho reported. Launch the containment shuttle now. Stay close to the moon's surface where they can't see you. Understood, Captain, Hannah replied. Be careful. The Vraxian ships opened fire. Streams of energy shot through space toward the interceptor. Jai-Ho twisted and turned, avoiding the blasts with ease. The Neuralink made flying so natural that it felt like dancing. Is this ship armed? Jai-Ho asked. Yes, Tai replied. Think about targeting, and the weapons will respond. Jai-Ho focused his mind on the nearest Vraxian scout ship. Immediately, he could see target points all over its hull. He chose the engines and fired. The interceptor's weapons shot out beams of blue energy that hit the Vraxian ship precisely where Jai-Ho had aimed. The scout ship spun out of control, its engines damaged. One down, Jai-Ho said. He was surprised at how easy it had been. The other ships began firing more aggressively. Jai-Ho dived into the debris field, leading the Vraxians away from the moon and the path the containment shuttle would take. The containment shuttle has launched, Hannah reported. They're taking the safe route along the moon's surface. ETA to the Starblade is 37 minutes. Jai-Ho checked his sensors. The damaged Vraxian scout was no longer following, but the battle cruiser and 2 other scouts were still on his tail. I'll keep these 3 busy, he said. Jai-Ho weaved through the debris field, pushing the interceptor to its limits. The Vraxian ships followed, firing constantly. They were determined to destroy him. For 20 minutes, Jai-Ho played a deadly game of cat and mouse with the Vraxian ships. He damaged another scout ship and managed to keep the battle cruiser far from the containment shuttle's path. But the Vraxians were learning. The battle cruiser suddenly changed course, heading back toward the moon. They're breaking off, Jai-Ho warned. I think they figured out what we're doing. The battle cruiser is heading toward the containment shuttle's path. The shuttle is still 15 minutes from reaching the Starblade Ta said. If the Vraxians intercept them. Jai-Ho didn't wait to hear more. He turned the interceptor around and pushed it faster than he thought possible. He had to reach the battle cruiser before it found the containment shuttle. Through the Neuralink, Jai-Ho could feel the interceptor's engines heating up. He was pushing the ship beyond its normal limits, but there was no choice. Come on, he whispered to the ship. We can do this. The interceptor shot through space like a bullet. Jai-Ho caught up to the battle cruiser just as it reached the moon's orbit. I need to stop that ship, Jai-Ho said. Are there any weak points I can target? Their main bridge is lightly protected. Sun's voice came through. If you can disable it, the ship will be blind for several minutes while they switch to backup systems. Jai-Ho studied the battle cruiser through his sensors. He found the bridge section, a raised area near the front of the massive ship. I see it, he said. Here goes. Jai-Ho fired everything the interceptor had at the Vraxian bridge. The shots hit perfectly. Explosions bloomed across the surface of the battle cruiser. Its weapons went silent, and it began to drift. Direct hit, Jai-Ho shouted. Is the containment shuttle safe? Yes, Hannah replied. They're approaching the Starblade now. Time to core breach. 14 minutes. Jai-Ho breathed a sigh of relief, but it was too early to celebrate. His sensors showed the battle cruiser was already beginning to recover, and the last scout ship was still behind him. I'll keep them busy for a while longer, Jai-Ho said. Just make sure that core gets fixed. For the next 10 minutes, Jai-Ho flew circles around the damaged battle cruiser and the remaining scout ship. He fired occasional shots, not to destroy them but to keep their attention on him instead of the Starblade. Captain Park, Hannah's voice came through, sounding excited. The containment team has reached the engineering section. They're installing the new parts now. How much time? Jai-Ho asked, dodging another blast from the Vraxian scout. Core breach in 3 minutes and 20 seconds, Tai replied. It's going to be close. Jai-Ho continued his deadly dance with the Vraxian ships. His interceptor had taken a few hits now, and he could feel the damage through the neural link. One more direct hit, and he might be in trouble. 2 minutes, Tai counted down. The battle cruiser was fully operational again. It and the scout ship were both firing at Jaiho now. He was running out of tricks. 1 minute, Ta said, his voice tense. Jaiho pushed the interceptor into a series of moves that no human ship could have managed. He spun and twisted through space, avoiding most of the Vraxian fire, but a blast caught the edge of his ship, and he felt the pain through the neural link. 30 seconds, Ta said. Come on, Jaiho whispered. Hold together. 15 seconds. Tai counted. 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There was silence on the communication channel. Jaiho held his breath. Then he heard cheering. They did it, Hannah shouted. The core is stable. The Starblade is safe. Jaiho let out a whoop of joy. Earth is safe too. Yes, Ta confirmed. There will be no breach, no damage to your planet. Jaiho turned the interceptor toward the Starblade . The Vraxian ships were still following, but they seemed less aggressive now. Perhaps they knew they had failed. Captain Park, return to the Starblade . Hannah ordered. We're preparing to activate our defense systems now that the core is stable. Jaiho flew the interceptor back to the damaged alien ship. As he approached, the Starblade began to glow with energy. Weapons ports opened along its hull. The Vraxian ships immediately turned away. They accelerated quickly, fleeing back into deep space. They're retreating, Sun reported. They know they can't fight the Starblade when it's at full power. Jaiho guided the interceptor into the same hangar bay where his fighter jet still waited. As he landed, he finally released the neural link. The sudden disconnect left him feeling empty and alone. When he stepped out of the interceptor, the entire Serani crew was waiting. Admiral Hannah stepped forward. Captain Jaiho Park of Earth, she said formally. You have saved not only the Starblade and its crew, but also your own planet. The Serani Federation owes you a debt that can never be repaid. Jaiho shook his head. I just did what any pilot would do. No, Ta said. What you did was extraordinary. No Serani pilot could have flown like that on their first try with our ships. Hannah nodded. This changes everything. We had planned to wait many more years before making contact with Earth. But now, because of you, we must reconsider. Jaiho looked confused. What do you mean? I mean, Hannah said with a smile, that humanity has proven itself ready to join the galactic community. At least one human has. Jaiho looked around at the alien crew, then back at his human fighter jet sitting in the alien hangar. Everything had changed in just a few hours. What happens now? He asked. Now, Hannah said, you return to Earth as our official ambassador. The Serani Federation offers friendship and alliance against the Vraxian threat. And my superiors. They're going to have a lot of questions about where I've been, Jaiho said. They already do, Ta said, showing him a video feed of Earth news. There were reports of strange lights and unexplained phenomena in the sky during their adventure. The choice is now yours, Captain Park, Hannah said. Will you help us introduce ourselves to your world? Jaiho thought about everything that had happened, about flying with his mind, about facing alien enemies, about saving 2 worlds. He smiled. Yes, I think it's time Earth learned it's not alone in the universe. As the Starblade prepared to move into orbit around Earth for the first official contact between humans and aliens, Jaiho Park, fighter pilot, accidental diplomat, and humanity's first hero on the galactic stage, stood ready to guide his species into a new era. The Vraxians had made a critical mistake. They had assumed that because humans lacked advanced technology, they lacked courage and skill. They would not make that mistake again.